in the age of Donald Trump, but I do. When I came to Duke, being Mexican became the biggest part of my identity. And man, was I proud of it. I was proud of our music, our history, and especially our food. I was proud of coming from Mexico City, a city known for its traffic and pollution, but also for its vibrant neighborhoods and world-class museums. I was especially proud of coming from a country that was as geographically diverse and as culturally rich as Mexico. While I of course acknowledge the presence of cartels and corruption, I always made it a point to give Duke students a more nuanced and fuller version of Mexico. I bragged about our beautiful snow-capped volcanoes and our beautiful beaches. I talked about our Nobel Prize winners and our amazing artists. Believe it or not, there's much more to Mexican art than Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. I talked about how many of my classmates in high school had grandparents who were Holocaust survivors, and that growing up, I ate a lot of Lebanese food because Mexico has one of the largest Lebanese communities in the world. But what I soon found was that the Mexico I knew was very different than the one Duke students thought they knew. Let me start off with the food. What the hell? This thing you call Mexican food is not Mexican. I don't know where it came from, but it looks nothing like Mexican food. The first time I had a burrito from Cosmic Cantina was during a week of my freshman year, after I had down 5 shots of this yellow drink people call tequila! The stomach ache I had the next day was less than ideal, but the moral hangover I had. What had I just eaten? Who thought it was a good idea to put rice and beans inside of a tortilla? What is queso? The food that Duke students love to consume was nothing like the food I grew up eating. It was simple and bland. The food I knew was complex and old. The food that I saw my friends consuming completely erased the images I had of my grandmother spending days in the kitchen just to make a good mole sauce. I soon found that my problem with American Mexican food was a symptom of a larger issue, the oversimplification of Mexico. A place in population too often reduced down to a border, drug cartels, and spring break! And in no realm did I feel that oversimplification more than when it came to race. When I was applying to Duke, checking Hispanic/Latino as my ethnicity was the easy part, but I didn't know what to put for my race. I didn't know how to account for my mixed background in the boxes they were giving me. Checking white seemed strange, and checking other never really crossed my mind. So I decided to check white and Native American, thinking that Native American referred to all of the indigenous people from all across the Americas. But even then, I still felt awkward because most of my family looks like what Americans would consider white. And I knew I was the person with the darkest skin in my family. And even though I'd always been treated as a white person in Mexico, I wasn't sure if people in the US would see me that way. I never understood the significance of that seemingly trivial phenotypical difference until I came to Duke. Throughout my time here, my Mexican identity has grown in its importance. I've become Mexico's ultimate defender, making it my mission to challenge the stories so many of my classmates had of Mexico and Mexicans. I'll never forget the look on my friends' faces when my older sister visited. They couldn't believe that she had blonde hair and blue eyes, and I remember one of them telling me that she didn't look Mexican, but that I did. And what does that even mean, looking Mexican? Until I came to Duke, I thought being Mexican meant belonging to a nationality, not a race. Most of my classmates didn't see it that way. From having a sober friend ask me, why are your parents white and you're not, to having a drug friend ask me, are you dark because you lived in Mexico for so long? Duke has made it abundantly clear that one, I am not white. And that two, an elite education does not rid people of ignorance. Professors are no exception. I never thought that deciding to join my friends on lunch would result in one of the worst identity crises I've had of my life. We went to dip school, we bought our food and sat down, we started giving generic introductions of ourselves and our hometowns. My friends went first, and the professor just nodded in approval. I gave my classic spiel, and when I said I was from Mexico City, he looked at me like I was some sort of creature and in all seriousness asked, are you Mayan or Aztec? What? You can't just ask someone that. That's considered a huge insult in Mexico. I was caught completely off guard. I don't don't know my ethnicity because of colonialism, I don't have that privilege. I didn't want to explain colonialism in conference to my professor, and so I just asked my friends what they thought, but then I got more confused when they said that I did look Mayan because my legs were as long as my torso. Which I guess would have made sense had it not come from my friend who grew up in Dallas, Texas, and has probably never seen a Mayan or Aztec person in her life. So I guess I do look Mayan or Aztec. It was at that point that I realized that race isn't about how you see yourself. It's about how others see you. Time and time again at Duke, I have been confronted with ignorance. From having my Uber driver ask me how I'm allowed to come here as a Mexican student, to seeing a kid wearing a Mexican soccer jersey with the words El Chapo, the name of a convicted murderer, on the back as a joke at shooters. I have found myself hating this university and hating this country for its ignorance. But they've only been moments. If there's anything Duke has taught me, it's how to speak up, but also how to listen. Everyone has a story, and they're worth listening to. And the more time I spend here in this country, and the more people I learn and listen to at Duke and beyond, the more I realize my own ignorance, and that Mexico and the United States are not so different. That people are not so different. Maybe if we all made any effort to learn and listen to each other more, we'd be able to see ourselves fully as people. Maybe we wouldn't have presidents threatening to build walls instead of bridges. Just maybe.